Hi, it's attorney Jason Weisser, and we are here in West Palm Beach at the beginning of Palm Beach International Boat Show, one of the biggest and best boat shows in all the world. And one of the things I want to talk to you about today is maritime cases. Maritime law has some interesting components that are very different than regular negligence cases. As a starting point, you have two very different bodies of law. You have state and federal law, and they have concurrent jurisdiction over maritime cases, meaning it goes at the same time. If you have a case in federal court, federal law is going to apply. And believe it or not, if you have a case in state court, federal law is still going to apply. You'll be allowed jurisdictionally to bring the case in state court, but federal maritime law is going to apply. That's the federal courts throughout the entire country. So there's different areas of the country that'll create law that'll still apply when you're here in the States. One of the reasons that you're going to have a lot of federal cases is a lot of those yachts you see behind us, they're not registered here and they're not American or US vessels. And so you can typically get jurisdiction over those vessels if they have minimum contacts here in the States, and you'll be in federal court. So one of the aspects on the state law side of it is you can file in state court if you have jurisdiction here, but you're still going to have the federal law applies. Now, what are some of the areas that are actually different in the law when it applies to maritime cases? One of the biggest differences is if you work on a vessel as a captain or a mate or a hand, you actually can have what they call a Jones Act claim. So Jones Act is like workers' compensation on the water. And for both of those cases, the difference between those and a regular injury case, a personal injury case, is you don't have to show that someone was liable in causing the injury. And so as long as you're in the scope and course of your work while you are on the vessel or close to the vessel or doing something related to the vessel, you're going to be able to get Jones Act benefits. What are those, you might ask? Well, it's basically maintenance and cure that you're provided while you're injured as a result of an accident occurring during the scope and course of your duty. Maintenance and cure would be rent, medical bills, lost wages, living expenses. You also are allowed to bring the personal injury claim. And that would be something like I mentioned before, either in state or in federal court. And that's where you're allowed to get pain and suffering damages as well. One of the other aspects of having maritime cases is you would be surprised what qualifies as a maritime case. If the boat is docked right now and one of the hands or one of the first mates gets injured there, that's actually still going to be a claim even though the boat wasn't moving. It doesn't need to be operating at the time in order for you to make the claim. Aside from boats, scuba diving accidents, any kind of snorkeling accident, sea-doo accidents, jet ski accidents, all of those are going to be maritime cases because the incident occurs in navigable waters. We've handled numerous maritime cases, tried many maritime cases as well, and it's really important to have an attorney that's familiar with the nuances of any type of maritime case. Your time on the water is supposed to be about pleasure, family, friends, having fun in the sun, but unfortunately accidents happen. If that does, please reach out to us and we'll give you the guidance and advice you need.